Welcome to Blues to Do TV. My name is Marlee Walker. This is a weekly live streaming podcast broadcasting on Duwamish land in Seattle's Georgetown area from the lab, the little auditorium in the back. We've had a lot of parties here lately. 1010 South Bailey at the Seattle Drum School of Music. It's not just drums here, it's more than drums. And thanks to Bunny Brown for being here today. Bunny and I talk about Kamala. That's how you say it. Kamala. Just in case you're wondering, it's comma and then la. I think there's a song there.
Well, you know, some say Camilla. You know,
or Kamala.
Yeah.
But it's comma la. And I think there's a song, like I'm feeling there's going to be a, anyway.
Let's
working
make
on
one.
a song.
Kamala is president.
Right. Kamala. Anyway, watch live in person or anytime on YouTube. Just search for Blues to Do or the Seattle Drum School. Now, I've had some revelations this week. I don't know about you, but it's been an incredible week.
Oh, yes.
All the oxygen in the room went to Kamala.
Yes.
But there's so much more going on. And
Yes.
I did have attempts to book a guest, but then I realized, you know what? There's so much to
We've
talk
got
about.
too much to
we
talk
don't even
about.
we don't even have time for the guest this
Yes,
week. So
yes.
it's kind of serendipitous. We lost Jerry Miller. I just have to say that again. That was tragic, and we're going to keep you posted on the celebration of life. I believe that's happening in October. But I went to his birthday party a week beforehand at the McMiniman in Tacoma. Beautiful. They made the Spanish Ballroom happen again, and it's a beautiful performance space. A lot of great blues shows happen there, and more coming. So we'll keep you posted on that. But yeah, just it's great to see him in his prime before he went.
Exactly.
So Bunny is here with me. Bunny is the National Black Radio Hall of Fame inductee. She's inducted into that. She's an award-winning broadcaster, the voice of the American Blues Network, and thank you very much for joining me. It's always good to broadcast with you.
Oh, yes.
We bring stuff, you bring stuff, I bring stuff.
Yes.
We work well together. I appreciate
You know,
that.
we're like ebony and ivory, sweetie.
And we're both learning still. We're still learning.
Even though we've been in this industry together over 80 years, this new technology is really gives you the blues sometimes.
It does.
You know?
It makes me cry sometimes.
know.
And I'm not
I
alone.
know.
And at the same time, I met a 70-year-old woman who came to church here at the lab this morning who told me she was working on TikTok. And now she doesn't work on TikTok. She doesn't do full, but she uses it as the tool it should be in her life. And that's what I'm challenging myself to do, is to get over my script that has been blaming and victim stuff. So I'm just trying to change my script. I'm hoping that you learn from this with me, because that's where we're at. We're all human beings.
You know, and sometimes, like, I remember in radio, it was a turntable, and you had an LP, and you had a 45, and you had a little clock, you know, and now everything is going digital. I remember when the first automated system came into the radio station. We left Friday, Monday morning, you had all these reels, and I'm like, what in the world is this?
Right.
It was the beginning of semi-automation, which put what song they wanted you to play, you know.
And put DJs out of work. And I was working part of that scene. And I went,
man.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to put my friends out of work. So I kind of got away from that. But and it really isn't real radio. This is real. We're live. So we can make mistakes. And that's kind of part of why you tune in, really.
That's
I mean, I remember
we're
people
learning
used to love.
as we go.
Right.
And the thing about it, the blessing in it, is that we get a little better every week, every guest we have, you know, so. And
smart people ask for help when they need it.
That's right.
So I'm trying to be smart.
I'm a dummy. I'm a big dummy.
For help. So yeah, if you're one of those young people who knows how to use your iPhone, I really appreciate you. Chandler helped me this week, and I told Chandler that I would help them move with my van, so we can help each other out.
Right.
You know what? It's not all about money.
I went to T-Mobile because my phone fell into the lake.
Ouch.
And brand new phone. And
probably happened a lot to people this summer.
Man, the trauma of making everything work again on the phone. I said, I want everything just like it was. Yes, ma'am, here it is.
Like it was. That's
but
what we're all.
You have to go back into Google. You have to go back into Facebook. I'm like, wow. So I put it on Zoom. I hit Zoom, and now you can only see the picture of my doggy's nose. You can't have no control. I go back to T-Mobile. I'm like, look, oops. I hit Zoom. They're like, oh, okay, click, click, click. Right. I said, you know what? I truly believe you youngsters were born with a gene that we didn't get.
Well, they grew up
Because
with
it
an
comes to
iPhone in
you,
their hand.
but it comes to them automatically. Like, how did you know even to go into there to find
Settings
that to
and-
fix it for me?
Right.
So
Yeah.
yes, we are in a learning process. Give us some time.
Well, I called up the senior center. I said, okay, I'm old. Please help. And they gave me some time to come by. And then someone else said, hey, the library offers classes. And I'm like, well, duh. Blow my
Well,
mind. Of course.
duh.
It's
Yes.
like telling someone you got to YouTube that so you can learn. Well, yeah,
Exactly.
duh. I'm getting it. So anyway, this Blues to Do podcast is sponsored by Mitch's Best Buffalo Sauce. We sure appreciate you, Mitch. And his QR code. Oh, look at that. It's right behind me. Lovely. Great job, Christian. And there it is, the poster, and there's the sauce. I put it on some jicama last week, and it was amazing. You missed it.
I missed that,
it
but
was
I
so
did. I
good.
did some a pork roast, right? And I put some of Mitch's sauce on top. People
There
were
you
like,
go.
"What did you do?" I said, "It's a secret," but I had to share it because, hey, that's Mitch.
That's right.
So
So anyway, we'll do that break in a little while, but I want to thank everybody for their support. This is a work in progress. We started last fall, and Bunny joined me just a month or two ago. We've been talking about broadcasting together. We were at the J&M trying to do our podcast years ago now, but what we're learning, the Facebook, the YouTube, the IG, Instagram,
Yes,
all this stuff is working into our deal. I also got a new website, and my web guy, I really appreciate him, put it together and actually published the calendar page this week. So I'm going to get in there after the show and put my calendar, which is going to be lengthy today, onto bluestodo.org. So I want to tell you that. Hopefully we'll get that whirring in a
cool.
yeah, in a business kind of way,
Yes.
and turn the heat up. All right.
Yes. And like you were saying, and with Christian, he's such a good engineer. He's going to help with the Raggedy Edges, the new podcast that we're going to start, and you're going to co-host with me, because it'll focus on domestic violence, what it causes, the effects it causes from generation to
It's
generation.
generational PTSD.
And I think, yes,
right?
in all races, it involves everyone, and especially our Indian family. There's a lot of alcoholism and a lot of domestic violence.
bet PTSD
and
is
they
something we're
need
still
someone to
understanding.
speak with PTSD, bipolar. All of that stems from domestic violence.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for that to happen. But today, we have so much happy stuff going on, Marlee. Kick it off. You know who we're talking about.
Kamala.
Yes,
She
yes,
took all the
yes,
oxygen out of
yes,
the room
yes.
for everybody for the
Yes,
whole week.
yes,
And
yes.
money. I mean, bank.
Hey, in one day,
Showing up.
in one day, she gained more money than any candidate has ever done in the history of the presidency of campaigning.
And just broke Zoom just about broke Zoom. So yeah,
Music-wise,
really proud of everybody.
Beyonce has backed
right?
Kamala.
I know, right?
And guess what happened
Wearing her cowboy hat.
this morning?
What, I missed something?
Oh, yes.
What'd I miss?
Who's the biggest girl? Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah.
The Swifties have endorsed
They're on board. Oh,
Kamala
that
Harris.
makes complete
Oh,
sense.
yes.
Complete sense.
Obama and Michelle
Well, see,
made
and-
the personal phone call to say they are behind her, they are proud of her, and they will do
Right.
whatever it takes and as much as they can
Yeah.
to get her into the Oval
The momentum
Office.
is-
The momentum is
And the
just
energy is just incredible.
unimaginable.
Young
You
people,
know.
every oppressed group
Yes,
out there. And that
yes,
includes you and me.
Yes. Because the new Trump's vice president candidate made the comment that the women in office were childless bearing cat
I don't
women.
know, what was he thinking? And it made me think of that song that C.T. Thompson and the Classic Soul Band did the other day when I was
Yes,
playing. I opened
yes.
for him. That was so much fun up in Beacon Hill. Thank you very much to the Beacon
Yes.
Arts people. Scratch that off my bucket list. Anyway, C.T. is such a graceful human being, and he sang a song, got earworm in my ear. I think you made your move too soon. And that one made me think about Trump this morning for some reason, like in advance. It's like, oh, yeah, you think you made your move too soon.
It's like he's running out of gas already.
Right.
Because, like you say, the momentum has shifted in such a magnifying point where everybody is involved right now.
Well, and this Josh Shapiro guy, he's a senator, and he said shit on the air the other day, which I loved. I mean, we don't have
Yes.
to worry about it here.
Yes.
But he said, "I'm sick and tired of people shit talking America," and I was like, "Yeah, me too."
Yes.
And by the way,
Yes.
stop shit talking me too. But anyway, right?
Exactly.
I think that really rang true for a lot of people. It's really hard to hear candidates tearing the country down that
Yes.
we're so proud of. We're
And
trying
you
to
know what? I've
inspired to be.
recognized, even on a local level here in Seattle, all the campaigning by the Republican Party is, hey, they're lying on me. Vote for me. Don't believe what they're saying. We can't lie on you. We can lie on your beliefs. We can lie on your points.
Get fact
but
check. Get
none
the
of
fact
none
checks.
of that
Yeah.
is important to us because you're lying to yourself.
and
You're
practices
lying to the
so
people.
much. Yeah.
So when you get caught in a lie, you can't come back and say they're lying on me.
Right.
You know, so it's not just. I mean, the movement is so strong right now, especially with women. Women will show how powerful we are in this country.
showing
We
up.
will show the world.
We're showing up.
this time.
And led by black women, which
Exactly.
is inspiring to me. I've
Exactly.
always thought that would be a good
Exactly.
idea.
But all women right now, the birth rights, when you can have a baby and not,
Reproductive rights,
we're
right.
not doing like going to China.
Bodily
This is the
autonomy.
United
Right.
States. Yes. So it's so much at stake right now.
Well,
Social
that's not
Security for us.
And that's not just women. I mean, the Social Security thing hits a
Yes.
lot of different demographics.
Yes.
And bodily autonomy, that's a senior thing. I mean, you want to
Yes.
choose how you're going to be decomposed, like composting. They're doing that now.
Exactly.
You got the choice.
Yes,
It is
yes.
your choice
Yes.
how you want to go.
That's right.
And what
That's
what,
right. But understand this. We're the baby boomers. So you have so many people in our age group right now that Donald Trump says if you're at this age and you don't have enough money to live on,
Right.
you better find a family member who has an
He's
extra
putting you
room.
down for being poor. And we
but
know that.
we have put in Social Security all of our lives. From
Right,
you have some women who have been working from the age of 14, 15 years old.
Right.
And that is not his money. That's our money that we were investing into our country.
Exactly.
So I just don't see the point of why he would even want to do this. That Agenda 2025 is no joke.
And it's destructive
Yes.
in every kind of way.
Yes.
So yeah, we know we're repeating stuff sometimes that people already know, but it's also a different perspective here on the Blues to Do podcast. Bunny Bubbling Brown Sugar is my co-host in this.
And Marlee, you speak on me, but you have been in this industry for so long. You have worked at how many stations right here in Seattle? Many stations. You're everywhere that you need to be. You support everybody in the Seattle area. Every genre of music, every artist, regardless, you're there.
So if I can mobilize my audience using these tools of Facebook and Instagram, then I'm back to being able to help even more.
That's
that's
right.
really what I'm
That's
trying to
right.
do is make myself more effective.
Yes.
And really the wisdom that we share is blues prevention. That's all we're trying to do is prevent other people from having the same blues we've been through
Exactly.
or that we understand and we
Exactly.
observe.
And there was another place we were in Ballard when we did a live, when we had the Women All-Star concert.
The Pono Ranch.
The Pono Ranch.
We had that All-Star Women
and
Jam.
and
That
I
was a
got
lot
on the
of
mic
fun.
and said it wrong. I said the Porno Ranch. And I'll never forget that, one of the most embarrassing moments on the mic.
I don't think they noticed. I
Yeah,
don't
they
think they
didn't notice because everybody was having such a good time.
It was a lot of fun. Oh, gosh, there's so much to talk about. Okay, I mentioned Jerry Miller. October is the thing. They haven't determined his cause of death yet, so that's still on the news. I'm gonna get you there. 100 days. I mentioned Sharon Jones. 100 days. 100 days. Oh, I better not do that. That's copywritten material. So before we get to the Mitch's break, we are going to talk about. Well, they're in Chicago. Mariners are in Chicago right now, and that's where Sonia Massey lived up until
Yes.
really recently.
Sonia Massey.
And the tragic shooting that seemed like murder from my perspective. A police officer showed up, and you can see the footage. I'm sure you have. It's something that should not get lost in the news. So that's why I
Yes,
bring it
and
up
we
here on
must
the Blue
keep
City
it at the
podcast.
forefront. And the last thing she said was, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus."
Wow.
And they're saying that's when the devil came out in this police officer. His partner was even shocked.
Oh yeah.
You know, the bullet went through her eye, came out
Oh,
of the
that's
back
too
of
much
her
detail.
head because she was down.
And he had to know the cameras were rolling.
And
It's like, aren't
even
you on your
even
best behavior?
police officers from across the country are like, hot water in a sink is not a life-threatening
No kidding.
situation.
And a 15 and 17-year-old now that are without their mom. There's a GoFundMe out there, so
Yes.
do put money out there if you can. And there'll be a rally on Tuesday. I don't know if there's one here, but I imagine there will be because there's a
Yes.
rally in Chicago, and we just can't play baseball and not talk about
Yeah,
it.
you know, it gets to a point. I mean, this is a woman who called because she thought
wanted help.
there was an intruder in the area, and she called for protection for the
yeah.
police and ended up losing her life.
I mean,
And the police officer find out about him, information about him. He's worked at 4 different agencies within a short span of time.
shouldn't have still
He
been
was
working.
in the military and had reports of him with inappropriate behavior.
right.
So the question goes back to how are you vetting the police officers that you are hiring in different
You may
areas?
need more officers, but don't put someone like that on the
Yes,
force.
yes,
Because
yes,
then we
yes.
just can't recruit
Yes.
more if that's
Yes,
what we
and
have.
and
It's
and,
just a
and like
mess.
this one officer came on, did a video. He was like, "It makes us all look bad," because I remember when we were young, your brothers and your little cousins, all guys, they wanted to be a policeman. Now no one is having the idea of,
Aspired.
I want to graduate and become a peace officer.
Protect my community.
No one is doing it because of the non-protection.
We gotta
and-
change
and
that
the
paradigm.
things that are happening
Change
to
that
the
paradigm.
black community.
Well, hopefully, Kamala will do
Yes.
leadership, and
Yes.
She does that well.
Yes.
in-
Well,
in
the
my
police
perspective.
officer is now, he has murder charges, and I
Right.
think he's up with no bond because it's a blatant
Right.
act.
I don't even know
of-
how anybody, the police union, could defend
Yes.
him in any kind of way.
I don't think they're trying this time.
No, they
sweetie.
just
I
put
really
just
don't.
lock that guy up.
You know. And while we're speaking of passing, Miss Libby Anthony, a very big disc jockey in Atlanta, suddenly passed away, and she was being inducted into Just Blues Hall of Fame. She didn't make it to be there,
ceremony.
but she did express how elated and how honored she was to be nominated.
Very good.
So
Recognition.
yes,
Definitely give her a shout out.
yes.
We also want to give a shout out to Sherry's Fire Pit in Everett. We're trying to get our buddy Lonnie up there. And a shout out to all the poor people and low-wage people. You need to vote, so make sure you're registered. Make sure
Yes.
it's not voter oppression on your own self. I mean, don't do it to yourself.
Yes.
Get yourself up there to
Yes.
vote. That's at least what you could
We're
do.
going to show the power.
And you know that
We're going to
that
show the
money,
power.
money has influenced politics. You can't
Yes.
deny that. But the way to swing that back is
Yes.
to make sure you vote even if you don't have money.
Yes.
And that's when we're going to
But
be
then
able
again, Kamala
Well-
raised more money in one day. I think it was like 8 hours.
to exactly. And she needs
So-
a Senate and a Congress to be able to
Yes.
make some of the changes we need to
Yes.
make in the Supreme
But
Court.
she's got so many organizations endorsing her right now. You know, because this, like it said, like Whoopi Goldberg said, this is the most important election that this country has ever had to decide.
It's time to practice voting.
Okay?
And I did this week, by the way. I got my little primary all filled out. So
Yes.
make sure you take my leadership as an
yes.
example. I will be at Nacho Mama's every Thursday and Friday beginning in August. We have a Blues to Do calendar for August. I'm going to take a week and go up to Port Townsend because that is my little sacred space to learn music and challenge myself and get better and, alone time in a beautiful space
Oh,
with
yes.
a bunch of other cool blues people. We're characters. There's a bunch of characters.
Let me
up
ask
there.
you, do
Yes.
you like baseball?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I went to the baseball game.
I listen all the
The
time.
Mariners
Yes, they've
baseball
been
game.
kicking it like 10-0. and
But I
stuff.
tell you what,
Even today.
to get out of T-Mobile Park takes
trucking
longer
traffic.
than the baseball game.
Reason of the week
I
for
said
the Blues.
I will never, ever drive to the baseball game. And you can take the metro. You can take the rapid ride, or you can take the train
I've been
now.
there.
I will never do it. But then again, the WNBA at
Oh, yeah.
Key Arena.
Sometimes it's worth it.
Oh, it was so exciting.
traffic is worth
and,
it.
And you can park right there. And I mean, it was so much easier.
You're trying to get free tickets. I see.
No, but I love it. And I got to see Angel Reese play against
cool.
Seattle. And then the next day, Seattle whipped her. You know, but she still broke records. I
Right.
mean, it's so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So go WNBA.
All right. Well, we're going to give a shout out to Mitch's here shortly. I want to thank you, Bunny, for coming in. We just have a few. We have 10 minutes left, so we're going to have to get to that calendar. But it is packed. There's so much going on. And yes, scan that QR code for the bluestodo.org website, and of course for Mitch's best buffalo sauce. It is kicking. It's not too hot though. It's really quite good. Quite good. And now a word about our sponsor.
Mitch's best buffalo sauce. Mitch's best buffalo sauce. Well, the sauce boss says you've tried the rest. Well, you'll be back, 'cause this one's best. Mitch's best buffalo sauce.
And if you want to try a sample, just come join us live at the show Sundays. I've got a jar in the fridge. I always bring it out here on Sundays. I cracked it last week with that jicama. That was delicious.
Yes.
With just the right heat and just the right bite, this rich and creamy sauce made with all real butter tastes great on everything except dessert. Handmade in small batches, it's made like a gourmet French sauce. It tastes great on any chicken dish, chicken dish, including wings. There we go. It's also great on any seafood, roasted vegetables, and many other foods. Available locally at QFC, Metropolitan Markets, Hagen Markets, and most fine meat shops in the Puget Sound area. Order directly from Chef Mitch, the sauce boss, at
right.
mitchesfoods.com.
Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you, Mitch. We love
Okay,
you.
you say we have a few more minutes. We have got to
What you got?
mention the Olympics.
Oh, yeah. It's heavy news time. Go ahead.
Yes.
You got
and,
this.
And my girl is Sha'Carri Richardson. Now, you know, in 2020, she was denied going to the Olympics because she tested positive for marijuana.
Right.
But however, her mom had just passed away and blah. But to make up for that, this year, this woman, I think she's already the fastest woman in the world.
She was then,
But-
too, but yeah.
Oh, man, but the relay they did against Jamaica, it was so exciting, you know. And then we got the swimmer. We have but in track, we have 2 gold medals, the men
Already.
and the women now, because
Already.
of Sha'Carri Richardson for the women. And I didn't really pay that much attention to the guys, but you know, yes. So we're into swimming right now. Then we have tennis and all the other weird events. You know, it's some things I never knew
I know, right?
that would go to the
They
Olympics.
play sport with that?
On a pole, on
Weird.
a log in the water, who can stand up the longest and do this with your feet? Never knew that was a sport that would go to the Olympics.
That's a Northwest thing, logging. The logging folks did that just for fun.
Well, I'm from the South, never heard of it, but you guys got it going on with
It's
that
all
one.
about the trees,
Yep.
man. It's all about
All
the
the
trees.
trees.
You want trees? Come on out. We'll put you in the water and let you spin on one of them.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we had a log boom when I was growing up in Lake Washington, and my dad would get the little motorboat out, and we'd try and water ski. And I was like all 80 pounds, so I just popped right up, you know. And we'd go around the log boom, and then we'd sit on the log boom because that'd be our little spot to rest and
Wow.
chill and have lunch or whatever. But yeah, so the logs
Wow.
were always a part of our life.
Well, you
in-
know, I remember coming from Hurricane Katrina. They sent us to Boise, Idaho, and there was a river, and you take a bus up to the hill, and you get your raft, and then you float down the river. My sister and our raft got a hole in it. So I remember Regina saying, "I feels rocks." I said, "I kind of do
Boom,
too."
boom. Oh no.
So we ended up having to
Ruh-roh.
dump the raft and swim sideways back to one of the shores of the river in the Boise
glad you
River.
made it. I'm so glad you made it.
That's one of the memories I'll never forget about Boise.
Well, now we went out to see Music Friday.
Oh yes,
Talk about the birthday party and Dave
Oh,
Holden
Phyllis
Jr.
Talley, Dave Holden Jr.
Oh, he could sing like the Doobie Brothers. What's his name?
Oh man, he is very
Beautiful.
good, and you don't
And play
find
bass.
many people on a bass
And
that can sing. You know, he was just amazing. And I spoke with his cousin, Ron Holden Sr. Well, I called him that night. He called me back this morning.
Okay.
And he's like, I said, I was with David. He says, he's good. You were with Phyllis. And I said, how do you know? You're in Los Angeles and Hollywood. He says, I keep up with what you guys are doing down there.
Phyllis's cousin, Jennifer Johnson, she can sing. The
man,
two of them.
she has a fantastic
Try to get her on the show
voice.
too. But yeah,
Yes.
really fun show.
Yes.
And it's called Grown Folks, F-O-U-X.
Yes.
And they played Saturday up north or in the central area. Anyway, I think they had 2 shows on Saturday. So keep your eye out. That's kind of an up-and-coming
Right.
sounding
And
group.
also,
nice to see a Holden out there again.
we were speaking about the group and the Rachel with Phyllis. Also, Lady
Jay, they called her.
Lady J
Jennifer
was
Johnson,
there.
yeah.
You had the one of your
Lady A. You're
favorite,
talking about
Lady
Lady
A,
A, yeah.
and you had one of
Josephine
your favorite,
Howell.
Josephine
She is
was
my
there,
all-time favorite.
and then the Grammy-winning
He's going to
saxophonist
be our guest next
Darius.
week.
Oh man, the
Medarius
house was
Dixon.
full. Yes, the house was full of superstars.
They did a
Seattle.
rendition of Happy Birthday that made my hair stand up.
Oh wow.
Well, and my hair stood up again when Dave Holden did that Doobie Brothers song. Dave
Yes.
Holden Jr. did that,
Yes.
and I was like, he is
Yes.
spot on. I was
Yes.
just, it was
Yes,
chills.
Yes.
It was really.
I had no idea the
amazing
boy was
vocals.
that talented.
Right?
You know, I saw him when he was a little kid, but with Ron, you know, he said, "Oh yeah, that's my little cousin." You know, his dad and David's dad were brothers.
generational
Yes,
talent.
and
not
you know,
generational
the dads
trauma.
had their own group, the Holdens. So it's just the music stays in that family. It's a a musical, like you say, from generation to generation, and we really appreciate the Holdens here in
Had
Seattle.
to learn by watching,
Oh,
just
yes.
watching your relatives, you know.
Yes, yes.
And so generational trauma, generational talent. We're talking about the generations. This is what we do here on the show.
Yes.
It's real music, real people, real stories, and we're going to do a
yes.
calendar and come back. I don't know what else you got, but it's such a busy week. I don't know if we missed something
We're
on our
going to
list.
run out of time. We have
I know.
still so much to
27.
get to.
Okay,
if
let me
we
get the
miss
calendar
you
then.
guys, we'll catch up with you next week. But yes,
Every Sunday, the Royal Esquire Club has a blues or open jam, R&B, whatever. It's cool. You get one song you get up to do with a awesome band. Every Sunday at the Spar Beer Parlor in Tacoma, there is a blues night at 7 o'clock. Every Monday at the Blue Moon, Andy Coe from here. He works here as well as everywhere. He's at the Blue Moon on Mondays at 9. The Nectar Lounge has Mo Jam Mondays. And after that, they all head over to the Sea Monster in Wallingford, so it's kind of a cool little neighborhood thing. Ron Weinstein and Danny Godinez on the Owl and Thistle lineup every Monday at 9. And they continue Tuesdays with Eric Verlinde, and a jazz jam starts at 10 o'clock, kind of a late thing. And they keep going. Wednesdays down there at the Owl and Thistle is the Dusty 45s, one of my favorite Seattle
Yes,
groups
yes,
ever.
yes.
And then, of course, the Rumba Room has a Tuesday night jam session. Jazz on the side of jazz with Sheila Kay and Tess Thomas rotating 7 to 10 there. And the Wolfgang part of that. Sea Monster Lounge every Tuesday. I mentioned that. No, they have another thing. Joe Doria on the organ every Tuesday. So they're presenting organ music. I love that. Love me some organ. Lizzie Sunshine over there at Arlena's for some good Cajun food every Wednesday, 6 to 8, and great music. Great singing. Dawson's every Wednesday in Tacoma has a blues jam. Every Wednesday at Golden West in Tacoma, they did have Jerry Miller. I don't know what they're doing now. I don't know what they're doing now. We'll keep you posted.
speaking
Yes.
of not knowing what someone's doing, SOS out to Z and Omega. We missed the show a couple of
Yesterday.
weeks ago.
Yep.
Well, there was one yesterday
They were
also.
playing in the park, I think.
Okay, well, give us a calendar. You know, we really miss. I want some
That's where
Z
we
in my
got to do the
life.
social media thing. We'll get there.
Yes.
We'll get there.
Hi, you guys.
Every Wednesday in Everett at Madison's, they have a blues jam. Every Thursday at the Bent Vine Brewing Company in Belfair. That's Jerry Miller's daughter's place. They have a
Okay.
very open mic with Anthony Estrada and Double H. Starts at 5 p.m. The Flight Path every Thursday. We love that. John Stoudemire, Herman Brown, Curtis Seals, and the All-Stars are always there. They call them the pathogenic, pathological flyers. That's what they call Madison Pub every Thursday. That's a songwriter showcase with Stacey Jones. And every Thursday at the Salmon Bay Eagles in Ballard, they have a blues night that's hot. Tim's Tavern in White Center has the Dusty 45s again every Thursday night. The Spot in West Seattle has another Thursday night. Either John Pinetree and the Ellen Degenerates or one of the other groups that comes through there on Thursdays. Awesome music. Cheng's, no, that's not always Lonnie. We got to keep an eye on Lonnie, though. We love watching Lonnie play.
yes.
He is like the
I think
elder.
he's doing a Friday night gig
Coming up.
but
Well, we'll keep putting him on the
Okay.
calendar for
Okay.
sure. Destinations Whiskey Lounge in Tulalip has Billy Mack from New Orleans. He's a great piano player, singer, just a sweetheart of a guy, and he's married to Marlee Rush. I mean, how can you go wrong
That's
there?
that's
Happy
Nolans.
couple.
That's some
Yeah,
Nolans.
he's totally straight up from. We should go there. You'd love meeting Billy
yes.
Mack. He's just a sweetheart. Every fourth Sunday at the Sea Monster Lounge at 4 p.m., it's Annie Eastwood and Billy Stapleton. I think that's today, right? The fourth Sunday of the month. So 4 o'clock, Annie Eastwood. She's going to be on our show in August. We put it together for the 11th, I believe. And here's some more stuff. Wednesdays and Thursdays for summertime. University Place in Tacoma has music of all kinds, 6 to 8 p.m. I got some lineup here. Lavon Hardison on the 31st. Chris Eager Band in August, King Combo in August, Billy Stoops and the Dirt Angels in August, Mark Hurwitz combo in August. Combo. We also got more. The Soulful 88s, my buddy Billy leading that group. More in University Place, Budapest West, Bigfoot Brass Band. Oh, that sounds like fun. So we got more on the calendar coming up at later in July. This is late July. What am I thinking?
Yes, we're almost into August now.
I'm going up to Port Townsend through the 4th of August. Today through the 4th of August, I am going to be in Port Townsend. The James Howard Band plays the stage in Tulalip on the 30th. I know I'm missing other stuff, but there's so much going on. Just keep your face in Facebook for that.
Yes,
I don't really
and
want to tell people
and
to go
I
to
love the
Facebook.
Gap Band. So Charlie Wilson of the Gap Band,
he's coming
he'll be
too.
in Tulalip. Yes, it's August 29th.
Thank you for
It's going to be on a Thursday night.
helping me out. August 2nd at Tulalip Canoes Cabaret has Backstreet Jelly Roll, a tribute to Van Morrison. Pretty bluesy. It's a free show. The Muse in Conway, they had 86th birthday for Leslie Stardum's Milton last night, and they put the stage, the new outdoor stage together. So they're going to use that for the August 3rd show. It is the Muse Blues Festival in Conway, outdoor blues show, starting around 6:30 with Stacey Jones, Joe T. Cook, Ron W. Bailey, and the Tangents. And then they do the next day, too, for the International Blues Talent Competition Finals. Again, outdoors, noon in Conway. Walt Wagner, great keyboard player. He's been around for decades. I'm going to try and get an interview with him. He'll be at Jazz Alley, one night only, I believe, August 13th.
yes.
Something tells me they had a cancellation, something happened. So anyway, they always pull out, hey, Walt, you live here locally. Are
Okay.
you available?
Right.
So yeah, my buddy
Well, we
Nancy
have-
Claire was talking about Walt Wagner, and Nancy used to have a big crush on him. So I'm going to
Okay.
get some good questions to ask him from Nancy.
Well, we also have Confunction at Jazz Alley. That's Thursday, August 1st, but happening right now today. Even though, and it might be, a good omen, a good atmosphere. The Mermaids are coming up on Edmonds Beach in Brackett Landing today.
Oh, well, like part of Seafair stuff?
Mermaids.
How
I
fun.
can't tell you anymore. They're mermaids,
Oh,
with
cool.
the big fish tails. Now, how they're going to walk onto the land is what I want to see. You
They're
know,
going to
you
have
know,
some help.
They
got
but
little
it's happening
feet
today
underneath.
in Edmonds, happening right now, as a matter of fact. So bring the kids out to Edmonds Beach, Brackett Landings in Edmonds, and meet a mermaid.
And there's so many community events. We are not covering all of them. Check your own community, because it's really a great way to connect with people and not be afraid of COVID, because you're outdoors.
Yes.
And it is back.
Yes.
So unfortunately, the blues comes in cycles, and so does
Yes.
COVID. Lady A, we saw her the other night at the birthday party. She's going to be at the Cajun Festival in Kent, which we have enjoyed. Our alphas with the spices and the food.
Well,
and
I'll be there. That's why I get my boudin, my
the
breaded
catfish and
okra. Yes, yes.
Cajun
everything.
Fest in Kent. August 17th is the date. And she's in Norway this week, Lady A, and we're trying to get her on the show. And she's also part of the Poverty Bay Blues Festival, August 26th, along with Polly O'Keery and Lori Morvan. That's in Des Moines, Normandy Park area. Also that same week, it's a busy week, the 24th at Remlinger Farms in Carnation, Buddy Guy, Chris Stone, Kingfish, Ingram, 5:30 show there in Carnation on the 24th. The 25th in Tacoma, the Dock Street Blues and Jazz Festival at the Waterway, west of the Waterway in Tacoma. The 26th, very next day, the Poverty Bay Blues, I already mentioned that. 27th, Alejandro Escobedo at the Crocodile. The 29th at the Spanish Ballroom, it's a Eric Clapton tribute. Then we got Bumbershoot, and that same weekend, August 31st and the 1st, is a new event, the first annual Kitsap Blues Music Festival. Way to go, Kitsap, on the Kitsap Fairgrounds. We'll tell you more about that as we get closer to the date. We saw Josephine. She's got a big show in November. We're going to try and get her on the show in October.
Yeah, I can't
Getting us
wait.
ready to vote.
I
Getting us
can't
ready
wait.
to vote. Yeah, she's going to be inspiring. All my hair is just standing up thinking
Yes,
about it.
yes.
Sunbanks happens September 5th through the 7th. Their blues festival in the fall. They got one in the spring and one in the fall. So anyway, that's probably all I got at the moment, but I know I got
Yes.
more. Again, I'm going to put it on blues2do.org. Thank you, Shitalu, for putting my website together. I'm so grateful for that. So I think that's it. We're going to give one more shout out to Mitch's Best Buffalo Sauce. Thank you so much for sponsoring our show. And if you're interested in sponsorship, we're looking for more sponsors. And we're getting more tickets to give away. We got momentum, just like the Kamala,
Yes.
Kamala,
Yes,
get it right.
Kamala.
Just like the Kamala campaign. We're getting the momentum.
Yes.
Turn up the heat.
And we thank each and every person who is spreading the news about us, who's tuning in. You know, and like I said, it's going to get bigger and it's going to get better with your help. All we need is a little help from you. So
Well,
be a sponsor.
sure.
You know, be a sponsor for this.
And
you know.
we're getting more and more viewers all the time. I just heard about somebody, Steve in Santa Cruz, is
Yes.
checking us out,
Yes,
reading or
yes,
watching our podcast on
yes.
Blues to Do. I mean, on YouTube, just search for either the Drum School, the Seattle Drum School, or Blues to
Yes.
Do, and you'll find our old shows. We've got great shows. Leslie Stardrums Milton was on our show with Lady Keys, and that was so much fun. He talked about tucking his drums and when he was a kid and stuff. So really fun stories, a lot of history. And we let people tell their narrative. I mean, Butch Harrison was on our show. Patty Allen was on our show. Septimus, the guys from Septimus were all on our show at once. Annette Taborn talking about blues in schools. Jay Hollingsworth doing the native side of blues and really
Yes,
bringing it. So anyway, Jayza Duhan. I loved meeting Jayza.
Yes,
She's awesome. So yeah, we'll let you in on those old shows. Just check it out, youtube.com. Search for Blues to Do or the Seattle Drum School. And we're going to put more and more of this stuff at blues2do.org. I'm so excited.
Yes.
And thanks to the Seattle Drum School, we're here at the lab. We'll be back next week with Medarius Dixon. And
wow.
this is, Grammy
He's
Award
awesome.
winner.
He's
So-
Grammy Award winner.
and he says he's related to you. So we're going to get that story. His last name is Dixon. So I was thinking of asking, are you related to Willie Dixon?
Well, yeah.
So we're gonna have to get the
we're
story.
gonna have to figure that one out.
We'll get the
next
story
week,
next
guys.
week. All right, this is the Blues to Do live streaming podcast. My name is Marlee Walker. That is Bunny Brown. And thanks to Christian Sadler and Chandler Dabbs and KZ and
KZ,
CD
thank
and
you.
Steve and Christy and everybody here at the Seattle Drum School for helping us put this together. And I guess that's it. Real music, real people, real stories. Living the blues until next week. Bye for now.
Bye.